Hey folks, welcome back. Today what I want to do is show you what I think is a really good option for a solo overnight camp out, or something that's good to keep in your get home bag, bug out bag, whatever, depending on your area. If you're down here in the southeast like I am, during the winter time you can get away with just a tarp shelter, or some kind of overhead cover, something like that, and a ground sheet, your sleeping bag, bivy sack, something like that. But during the summertime and into spring, fall, that sort of time frame, you can't just lay out in the open. The bugs down here will absolutely tote you off and kill you. Right now, just standing out here, I've probably got 5 or 6 yellow flies buzzing around. There's enough of a breeze blowing that the mosquitoes are down right now, but if the breeze stops blowing, the mosquitoes are just going to be everywhere. I'm hoping that while I do this, the yellow flies won't tear me up. But my point in saying all that is, if you're going to use a tarp shelter, keep things lightweight and such, down here you're going to have a bug net of some kind to put over you at night while you sleep, or you're just going to be miserable. See what I'm talking about? So, there's a couple of different ways you can do that. You can use just an actual bug net that you would string up underneath your tarp, okay, your basha, or you can use some kind of little self-enclosed screen covering or tent. There's a couple of different companies that make them. The one that I'm going to show you is this one that's really thin, really lightweight, and I like it. It works real good for what I'm talking about. This is the Catoma enhanced bed net. Now, this was originally made for the military for guys to put onto their cots and have a bug net over them on their cots when they're sleeping in big tents and stuff. However, it can also be used as a standalone bug net and shelter on the ground. There is a, I'm gonna kill them in a minute. There is a cover, like a rain fly that they make that goes over this that you can purchase, and there's a pole set that comes with it and everything. I don't have the rain fly and cover and the pole set for it. I've just got the bug net. So that's what I'm going to show you. I'm not going to go into a lot of details about this particular thing itself. If you want a really good review on this, go over to K-Jumper1's channel. I'll put a link up to it down there. He's got a couple of really good videos on using this with the actual Catoma rain fly and everything over it. So no use of me rehashing the good info that he's already got out. So go check that out and watch that. What I want to show you is how I'd set it up using a couple of different tarps and basha covers. Just kind of as a simple, quick, easy setup here. So I will get started on this and show you what it looks like. Okay, what I've got here is what I put down first, and this is just a ground sheet. What this is actually a tent floor saver that's made by Eureka, and what that does is just gives you a layer of protection between you and the ground to help keep from poking holes in your tent or whatever, and also gives you a waterproof layer between you and the ground. Now the bottom of the Catoma bed net is supposed to be waterproof, but I like to have the extra little layer, not only for the ground moisture, but also just to keep from poking holes in it on rough ground or whatever. This one's actually for a larger tent, and what happened is a buddy of mine and I both got the Catoma bed nets, so we bought one large sheet and then just cut it in half and made it so that we each have a section that would fit our bed nets. So that's the first thing that we put down. So here's how I got it set up. Obviously, move this out of the way. I've got it staked out at that corner and the far corner on the other side. It's got one stake ran out right there. Since the bed net really isn't, it's self-standing, but it doesn't really support any weight, I try to keep the tarp off of it with just a little space in between it. But I've got top line ran up through the middle right there, and then you just go up to the tree right there, and there you go. You can stake the bed net down if you want to, fold your ground sheet up a little more underneath it. But once you get your sleeping bag and stuff like that in there, it's not going to really go anywhere. Obviously, I've got this side up for the ability to get in and out real easily. And, you know, let you see it. If the weather got really bad, then what I could do is I could get down here and see if I can show you. If the weather got real bad, then what I could do is take this corner right here, drop it down, and then I'd be fairly well enclosed underneath it if the wind and rain was really blowing hard. For now, just to kind of keep the dew off of you and you know, overhead stuff concerns, this works really good. Good ventilation and breeze, etc. Took all of maybe 5 minutes at the most to set up, and that was with me reconfiguring a time or two just to get it so you could see it good on camera. So for a quick, easy, fast setup, here's what you can do. Now this is a larger British DPM Basha. Let me reconfigure and take this down, and I'll show you with a slightly smaller tarp. So, similar setup. This is with a much smaller, really lightweight, thin tarp that a friend actually made. And you can see it still covers everything. You just don't have quite as much overhang, and you got to be a little more mindful of where your ends are at. You could obviously guy it down a little lower to the ground if it was raining hard and the wind was blowing bad. You just have to be mindful of where your ends are at, and obviously going straight down, make sure that you don't have rain getting up underneath on your ground sheet or whatever. You could roll those edges back up underneath, obviously as needed. But again, you could bring that down, lower it, get out of the way of the tree limb here, and still be completely covered. The one thing that the larger Basha gives you is the ability to kind of offset it a little bit more, and by doing so you would give yourself a more covered area underneath for administrative stuff, where you could sit and cook, take care of things like that. Not only have you underneath it if it was inclement weather, but your gear and such as well. So that's another option with a smaller tarp there. So generally, I like to use this tarp more as just like a pocket emergency type tarp, because it'll just really fold up compact and super small. For general use, I like something the size of a Basha, or maybe like a 10 by 10 tarp. That way I can cover my sleeping area and still have a dry area for my gear and administrative tasks like cooking and eating and that sort of thing. So let me kind of get this broke down, and then we'll close up. Alright, so we're all packed up, and I didn't want to waste your time with you having to watch me pack it all up. With a little practice, it goes back together just about as quick as it went out. Again, watch K-Jumper 1's a couple of videos on that Catoma bed net. It's literally instant to set up. You lay your ground sheet down, take the strap off, and it opens up automatically on its own. You can use the rain fly system that he shows with it, or you can do like I did and configure a tarp over it a couple of different ways. The idea behind this, and why I want to show it to you, is to give you something that in hot weather you could have plenty of ventilation so you're not burning up, but keep the bugs off of you. I can't stress how important that is down here in our area. Keeping the bugs off of you is an absolute must. Again, you can use a separate actual bug net. Snug Pack or Proforce, I think, makes a couple of different ones. You can string that up underneath the tarp and accomplish kind of the same thing. The key with that is you have to make sure you tie it out so that it's open enough that the net's not touching you when you're laying in it sleeping. Because if the net's touching you, most of our biting insects that we got down here can bite you right through the netting if you're touching it. So you want to have it out around you. The Catoma just gives you that ability that, since it's freestanding, it supports itself, so when you're laying inside, it's holding itself up off of you. And unless you intentionally roll over and touch the sides, then you know, you're pretty well protected from the bugs. Quick up, quick down. You can pretty much put everything you need right in that one bag that the Catoma comes in. Strap it on to the outside of your pack, even inside your pack, and boom, you got pretty quick, easy, instant bug-proof shelter. So again, something quick and easy and simple. Thought I'd use the DPM Basha there first to use it as an example and show you, and had to wear the DPM camis just kind of as a shout out to our brothers across the pond over there. So anyway, not a long video, not real in-depth or anything, guys, but just kind of give you an idea. If you got any questions about this, I'll be glad to try to answer them for you. Look for this in some upcoming videos. I've got some camp outs planned for later this summer that I want to do, and that's one of the things I want to be using. I've set it up, you know, a few times here in the backyard and done a little backyard bushcraft with it, but I want to actually get out and go with it. Honestly, I'd like to try to time it when it's hot and raining at the same time, so we can kind of put the theory to the test, as it were, you know, and see how much good coverage we can get while it's raining and that sort of thing. So anyway, stay tuned, take care, appreciate it, stay safe, keep prepping, and we'll see you next time.